30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life. And I will show you the sketch real quick. So, here's what we have. We have, obviously 12 by 12. There's it looks like a sheet of paper here that's bordered with another sheet of pattern paper. There's clearly 3 doilies that are, kind of going off the page. And then we have some little floral leaves, a couple little embellishment clusters on the edges of these. And this looks like this may be, I don't know what this is, some other language, but I'm going to imagine the photo going here. So that's how I'm imagining this. What I've got to work with, first off, I'll just show, it's a picture of me and my mama. It was at Thanksgiving this past year, and we were at a restaurant. We decided to cook out, or go out. We didn't want to cook, so we went to a restaurant. And that's I think this might be my most recent picture of us together, so that's why I'm using it. Because I picked out this collection. It's really old. I mean, y'all, antique just about. It's from 2013. It's an authentic paper from, it's Heart. I don't know if there was an actual collection name, because that's Humble. I'm assuming there was. I don't know what it is, to be honest, but it's Heart and Humble, and it's not authentic. So I have those 2 pieces of paper, because that's going to be my base, and then my stripes, or the little pieces at the top and bottom. And then I do have my 3 doilies. They're just like stash doilies. The big one here, I wish was just a little bit less bordery, because in the sketch there's a little more to work with, so I'll have to make that work. I did already pre-cut some foliage, y'all. I know the word. I'm sure I can say it if I think about it. I'm not going to mess with it. Green foliage. Oh, maybe that was right. Out of my 2 little dies. I do have not any clue where I got these. I've had these a while. And then I picked out, I did trim this already, because the little, the collection did come with like some cut aparts and things. Although, yeah, I had cut this one partly in half already. So I just cut out the piece on the top, which was this. I think I'm gonna put that down there. I have these little bird cages. I pulled out some little corrugated arrow looking things, a lock and key, little wood hearts. I don't know if I'm gonna use this or not. It looks like a ticket, it's wood, but I'm not certain. Because I pulled out this little green ticket and this little thing. This might be too orangey yellow. That might not go. I'm pretty sure it may not go, but this will probably go. And then a couple little like Thanksgiving-y type things. It says perfect pumpkin, a little pie, and then a little leaf that's orange. And then I just cut, I had a piece of corrugated, well, I don't know what that is. It's not a box, but the little stuff. And I trimmed and cut out a couple hearts. So that's what I'm going to work with here. I don't actually think this will take very long either, since it's such a, the sketch is pretty helpful. So I'm going to put this on. I'm going to do my trimming up real quick here, because I don't ever like to just sit here and make y'all watch me trim just the little bits. And then I will put it back on fast forward, and I'll start kind of gluing stuff down. All right, talk soon. Okay, guys, I'm going to pop back on here just real quick, because I want to mention a couple things. So first off, on the sketch, I don't think I pointed it out, but it's cut at it was shown at a little bit of an angle on both sides. So I've cut it at a little bit of an angle. I've gone ahead and trimmed my photo down to 3.5 by 3.5, and I didn't show you this, but I had this little 6 by 6 pad in my little collection here. So I'm going to use this to mat my photo, and I'm kind of liking these little florals here. I think these are adorable. These are so pretty. And we'll go with something maybe more contrasting. So maybe we stick with the gold. I think we stick with the gold, y'all. So I think this is really pretty. So I'm going to mat these on this, and that's going to go on top of there. So anyway, I just wanted to catch you real quick, because like I said, I didn't mention the angle, and I had forgotten to mention that little 6 by 6 pad. So now I'm going to stop and go fast. Alrighty, so first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and mount my photograph on my scuffed up edge. And I did scuff those. I don't know if I told you that in the last little bit there, but I did scuff the edges of the photo mats there that I've cut. And I'm just trying to figure out the placement. I want the photo, to be kind of in the right spot where the doily is kind of off. I want it to be in the right spot where the doily is shaped around it the right way, but then also that, I'm cutting off the top of it. So, put it where I wanted it. Now I'm going to glue down my doily. And then what I'm going to do now is just kind of glue down the doilies with the edges hanging off where I think I want them to go. And then I'm going to come around and trim the doilies after I do that. I guess this is the right way to do it. I don't know. I'm not sure there's an actual technique to it. But anyway, that's how I'm going to do it. So now I will end up having to, and I think I'll show you. Oh, here's where I realized, oh my gosh, I had forgotten to take off those goddamn double-sided tape pieces. It was just flopping in the wind there. Oh, and then I decided I'm going to use my fingernails to curl the edges of those little bits of the paper that was exposed on those little edges there. So I'm just using my fingernail because I didn't feel like, honestly, dealing with either scissors or a scuffer or something like that. So I'm just using my fingernails because it works just fine when you're doing that type of little texturing. So I'm going to trim my doilies off here. I do keep these, by the way. I'm going to stick those back in my stash because, you know, might need a little partial doily at some point in the future. And I'm just going to make my way around the outsides here. I am not, to be honest with you, I don't remember what I do next. I did this layout this morning, and now I'm completely forgotten. Oh, I know what it is. I take my Nuvo glue, and I just kind of glue down the edges of the doilies. Because I put the tape, you know, on the solid parts of the doilies where the little decorative edges wasn't, well, then that means the edges kind of where I had them on the edge of the paper there, they're not glued down real good. So I got to glue those down a little bit. All right. And then, okay, so you can see where my photo is. You can see where my doilies are. And then, I don't know if you remember from the sketch, but there's like little clusters of stuff in each of the doilies. The first thing I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to take these pre-cut little foliage. I figured out how to say it, foliage. I'm going to tuck these in here. I actually cut more than this sketch technically shows, but that's okay. I mean, honestly, you can almost not have too much foliage, right? And see, now that I've learned how to say that word properly, I'm going to keep saying it. It's not that I didn't know how to say it. I just forgot. I don't know. You know, sometimes. So I'm just kind of organizing these little pieces around. I do actually put this one on top of the doily. I laid it there, by the way, just so I could see about where it would fall if I trim that. That one there, I'm a little disappointed because when you run it through the die, it actually embosses like one side of it. And that light green that I had stuck on that right-hand side there, the embossed side actually makes the greenery kind of flip up in the wrong direction. So ultimately, I actually end up putting it kind of upside down, but it looked better that way. So that's okay. So I'm just going to use my Nuvo to adhere these little pieces of foliage down. I'm going to tell you, this layout comes together pretty fast again. I swear you. Although this video is a tad longer. I will say it's a tad longer. I think, did I tell you guys, I think in the intro there, this was me and my mama. We went to, for Thanksgiving, the family decided to go to, I think it was Fogo de Chao. So Fogo de Chao is a Brazilian steakhouse, and that's where they bring meat around like on a stick. And you turn your little card to the green if you want them to stop and give you options, and you turn it to red if you're full. And I was like, you know what? I will spend basically the same amount of money if I come here with the family than if I buy all the stuff, because by golly, the turkeys were just, good grief, they were expensive. And I thought, I'm not messing with that. And they don't have to mess with dishes and everything. If I'm 100% honest, I didn't recognize or realize there was a holiday dinner price versus the regular dinner price. So truth be told, it was a little more expensive than I thought, but it was worth it. I mean, it really was. We had a really great time. There was plenty of food. Everybody was so happy. They even have gluten-free, or actually everything was gluten-free, which is good because my stepdad can't have gluten. So it was perfect. He was able to get anything he wanted. And then we didn't have to do any dishes. We were able to go back home full as a tick and just take a nap. So it worked out great. We had a good time. So I put all these pieces of the greenery down there. And now I'm taking those little corrugated hearts and I'm organizing those. I've got that ticket. I'm going to stick that there. There was like a little orange leaf. That was the only one, but it's okay. I like it. So it's good. And I'm going to organize all the little embellishment clusters. And then I realized, I think this is where I pulled it out. I can't see right there. Oh, there's my little pie. My little pie goes on top of my my heart. I don't actually think I've done this yet. I'm just kind of organizing and seeing where I want these little pieces of embellishment. And then in a second, I'm going to think about it. There on the sketch, there's this horizontal like stitching looking thing. And I thought, I think I've got little rubber stamps that looks like stitching. So I ended up going to go over there and get those in just a minute. And actually, I go get my, well, I'm still gluing stuff down here. Sorry about the head. I'm going to go over there and get that little stamp, and I'm going to pull out my little stamping platform. I have used this so rarely, y'all. I don't know that I use it correctly, but it looks like I try. The challenge I have here is I kind of squished it a little harder than it should have been, I guess. So it's a little bit fuzzy, but it's okay. I think it looks fine. It's not terrible. But basically I use this green, I think it's moss, distress oxide to create these lines on the layout. I stamp it. I don't do this hardly ever. And this is why the video is a little bit longer, because I did a technique that I don't do very often. And again, I don't even remember the last time I pulled this little platform out. And it worked okay. I mean, I'm not unhappy with it. I probably could have just as easily used an acrylic block, to be honest with you, because I didn't really use this platform the way I think it's intended. But that's all right. It's, it was something fun to do and different and all that good stuff. I need to pull it out more, because I had an entire sheet. In fact, you can kind of see it over there on the left-hand side. I had an entire sheet of border stamps that I have literally never used. I had to pull that one off and tear it off brand new. And I'm thinking, why in the world have I not used these? I've seen these used 1,000 times on the videos, and I hadn't used mine. So anyway, I went ahead and stamped those two, well, I guess there's technically 3. But anyway, the little horizontal elements on there. And I think that looks pretty cute. I do have to come back in now, of course, and put my embellishments back on there. I don't know where I've run off to. Oh, I'm trying to clean the little platform. So, whenever you ink too much, you get a little too excitable with your platform, get ink on it. So, all right, I've gotten that out of the way. Now I got to reorganize myself with the embellishments. So, I had put the little ticket down already so I could stamp on top of it. And now I'm going to attach my corrugated heart. And then I'm going to use a little Nuvo glue. I did use the tape first, but it needs a little extra. So I put the Nuvo glue on there, and then I'm going to put this little pumpkin. I think it says pumpkin, sweet pumpkin or something like that. I put a little bit of foam on it because it's going on that heart, which has a little bit of depth. So I'm going to put a little bit of foam, and then I'm going to glue that so it'll go on top of that little heart. I think that looks pretty cute. I'm going to come in there in a minute with something else, but that's good for now. And then I do have this little thing that said, you're the best mom, I think is what it says. And I'm just going to ink the edges of that again with that green, that moss, I think it's moss green, distress ink. Just because I thought it looked a little strange without anything on the edge. And it kind of ties it into the greenery, the pre-cut little greeneries I made. And that's essentially my title, by the way. I don't add any other titles. And honestly, even on the sketch, I don't remember even having a title. It's like it had the photo up there, but no actual title anywhere. So this is going to be my title. And I think it's great. It's cute. It works for my layout. And then I have my little corrugated arrows here. Those were actually already made that way. I don't know where I got those either. You know that stuff in your stash that you just go, where did I get that? It probably came in some kind of little kit or something. I don't know that I would have bought those, but they're kind of neat. I mean, they got a great texture. I mean, obviously corrugated like cardboard stuff is cool. It's cool to look at. So I'm going to put that little heart over the top of the photographs. And now I've kind of got this little, it's not kind of, it's a visual triangle of the little corrugated pieces. And then we'll put my little pie up there. We didn't actually get pie at this restaurant, so technically we didn't even eat that, but it's Thanksgiving, right? And you always have pie at Thanksgiving unless you go to Fogo de Chao, in which case you don't get pie. I think they had a dessert, but I honestly couldn't even tell you. I know they had stuffing, which was kind of odd, stuffing with all these beef sticks running around, but it was all good food, so I'm not going to worry about it. So I put my pie down there, and I start looking at my other options. What have I pulled out? Oh, so I had this floral, and I thought, oh, I need to put that up there. So I went off camera for just a minute so I could fussy cut that little floral, because I did feel like that section over there was just so empty. It looked a little strange. So adding this floral did fill that in. I like that a lot. And I do put some, if y'all watch me for any length of time, y'all know I'm a foam tape kind of girl. So I put a little bit of foam tape under the edge of them flowers. And I like how that turned out. I think it looks neat. And it ties in, like, I don't know, just the overall theme of it. It just looks so empty right there without it. I'm sure in the sketch it was a little bit smaller doily. But for me, it just, because mine's so much bigger, it was, I don't know, it just looked strange, empty like that. So now I'm looking at this little bird cage. I'm going to scoot over in a second because I had to go get glossy accents. I didn't think the Nuvo glue, frankly, would hold it. So I ran over and got some glossy accents. I'm going to attach that little bird cage with some glossy accents. And truth be told, I cut this out too. The first bottle of glossy, I had like 3 bottles over there. And I think they were pretty much all unopened. And the first one I tried to use, it just was not coming out of that bottle. It was too old. So this was my second bottle that I pulled out. And now I've got these little wooden hearts, and I'm kind of setting those around. I like these little wooden hearts. I bought those a while back. I got 2 packages, and they're just great little accents. They're a little bit thick, so some layouts it's a little strange because they're real thick, like depth-wise. But I love the shape, and they're just perfect. And there's all different little sizes too. You have bigger ones, and there's these teeny tiny little ones, and they're so cute. So I'm just kind of organizing where I want these little hearts to go. I don't know. I think after this, I'll glue these down. I'm going to use a little Nuvo, and I'll just put the glue, where I want them. I don't think, I may in a second show you, but I find that I had mentioned that lock and key when I was showing in the intro. It's just kind of these little, I don't know how to explain it. They're adhesive on one side. They're not really metal. They just look kind of like metal. And I thought to try to put them on here, but I really couldn't ever find a spot for them, which makes me a little sad and makes me think I got to use them on some another layout in the near future because I do like them. So, but for the moment, again, I'm just kind of going through and gluing down these little wooden hearts. I like using these little, I've used these pretty regularly too. I'm not out, but I'm definitely making my way through that little supply. And I'm just gluing these little hearts down all over the place. All right, now I think this is where I decide, apologies, I cannot remember, but I know I decided to go get some of the Mr. Huey's opaque white ink. I think I'm looking at it. I'm going, I need a little something extra. There's something missing here. This might be where I pull out that lock and key and I decide, nope, I can't find a home for you. Don't look right anywhere. See, I'm trying to figure out a spot because I do like them, but it's not going to work. I couldn't find a good place for it. So that's, I think, when I decide to go off and get the, see, I'm kind of looking at it. I'm going, okay, I feel like you need a little something extra. I'm looking at it, and this is where I'm going to run off and go get that Mr. Huey's. And this is where I used the wand. I decided not to go with that paintbrush because if you watched yesterday, you saw me get that paint everywhere, and I didn't want to do that again. So I used my wand, and I'm just kind of, the little wand inside there, and I'm just sprinkling it around. And honestly, that's going to be the end of that layout. I mean, this was really technically it took me not very long. Just really pre-cutting the little green things and stuff like that. Otherwise, it was really easy. So I'm going to slow it down, let you take a look at it. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you're keeping up if you are playing along with the 30 days. And take a look tomorrow. I should have another video. Like and subscribe and all the good things. And check me out on Instagram. Talk soon. Bye.